YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we are gonna test out the Calamity lock for the TG deck. Now this has been running through YouTube with most of the YouTube content creators, but yeah, I'm just testing this deck out if it is that good in rank, or if you're trying to craft this deck from your own pocket. Now there are some problems with the deck, of course, like any other deck. They have their strengths and weaknesses, but before we go into that one, let's talk about the deck list. We are running 2 copies of Effect Builder and 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. In case we're going second, at least we have some negates. Second of all, we are running also the TG monsters that can spell summon to the field if you have a presence of another TG monster. The Rocket Salamander is the best card that was added recently for the TG archetype. The 3 copies of your limited removal. It's kind of like Graceful Charity in a sense, but more on the TG. So if you can pick out the right TG cards that you can go into just by dumping 1 card on hand. Now, you can search out a copy of Rocket Salamander plus another monster that is a level 1 that you can instantly summon to the field to trigger or to use the effect with the Rocket Salamander to destroy 1 card or pop 1 card to spell summon another TG monster from your deck to the field. Your typical target for this is the Tank Grub. 2 copies of All Clear. You can search this one out with a copy of your Mighty Striker, really good level 2 tuner, and the materials you need to summon this are practically generic, so it's really good. I think the only restrictions in the TG archetype is the copy of Dragonar and the copy of the Trident Launcher. So these 2 cards alone will lock you into TG monsters once you use their effect. Now, I've seen some other builds as well without the Calamity lock. I think I prefer that one, of course. But regards to the people who are trying to build this deck just for the Calamity lock, let's try this one out in rank if it is actually good. So with regards to the engines, we are running the 3 copies of the Black Witch. It's easy enough to gain access to your level 1 fire monster, which is the Salamander. 3 copies of your Seeker so that you can search out the copy of the Black Witch, and 1 copy of your original Sinful Spoils. So this is just a 1 copy. You don't need like more than 1 copy for this. Practically, you can just spin this one out from your graveyard or from the banish pile back to your deck with the help of your Seeker. Oh yeah, the original Sinful Spoils can spin back 1 Devil Star monster from your graveyard and then add 1 level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, adding Rocket Salamander if you need one. So that is basically your main deck. Your extra deck revolves around all Synchro monsters. 1 copy of Dragonfly allows you to target 1 TG Synchro monster and then spell summon the materials used to summon that specified TG monster. Your 1 copy of Mighty Striker. I've seen some builds where people are running 2 copies of this. It's up to you, but just 1 copy is enough just to make room with other cards as well. 1 copy of your Power Gladiator, really good. 1 copy of Hyper Librarian, really good for your draw power, of course, so you need to feed your hand as well. 1 copy of your Star Guardian, really good card. Bounce back 1 card from your graveyard that is a TG monster. You can also spell summon the TG monster that is in your hand. And 2 copies of your Over Dragon. Like I said, this will lock you into TG monsters only, so be prepared to just summon TG monsters after you use the effect. The best part about this is it's kind of like 1 Synchro monster that spell summons all of the Synchro monsters from the graveyard. Over Dragonar is kind of like that. Axel Synchron, you can spell summon a copy of your Mighty Striker or a copy of your level 1 Tuner monster from your graveyard if you have it, and then spell summon it to the field. 1 copy of your Blade Blaster because this is needed for your Calamity lock. 1 Burn the Floor and 1 copy of your Halberd Cannon. Now, I haven't actually used this because majority of the time once I did the combo, it's basically people are just scooping if they have a chance or if they can't actually out the Calamity lock. 1 copy of Hot Dragon Archfiend Calamity. So this has its timings. If you miss it, do not chain this one with another card because you will miss its timing. 1 copy of your Crimson Dragon, the new card, really good card, targets any Synchro monster in the field with a level, and it will summon a Dragon monster from your extra deck which has the same level as the targeted monster. 1 copy of your Glade Blaster and your copy of Trident Launcher. Now this is basically the composition of your deck. Anyways, for now, let's test this one out on the Calamity lock. So let's go to the replays. Alright guys, so here we are with the replays, and well, I'm going to showcase to you guys the combo for the Calamity lock. So we have 1 copy of Zombie 1, Nibiru, 1 copy of Crossout, a copy of Triple Tactic Salad, and a copy of your removal. So at least we have the removal to search out your specified cards. So we go for a copy of removal here. Dumping a copy of your Zombie, getting a copy of Salamander plus a monster that can be spell summoned to the field. Go for Salamander, spell summon the other card, sacrifice or tribute the other card for a copy of your Grub. And then we go for a synchro summon into a copy of your Mighty Striker. So this is the line that you can go into, or that you should go into. Go for Mighty Striker and then the grub second, so that you can chain block the Mighty Striker's effect. All clear is going to be searched by the Mighty Striker. Use the effect, tribute the Mighty Striker there, get a copy of your Serpent. The all clear can allow you to normal summon another TG monster in addition to your normal summon. So that's pretty good. So with that, Serpent to the field, spell summon the copy of your Salamander and go into a copy of Dragonar. Now Dragonar will spell summon every TG monster that can be special summoned from the graveyard. And then here is the line that you can go into, the Calamity Lock. So first you go for Hyper Librarian for a draw power. Special summon the level 4 again with the use of your Salamander, since most of your monsters or all of your monsters are machines. Spell summon a copy of your Guardian that allows you to gain access to the Serpent once more. And then use the effect of the Guardian, spell summon back to the field a copy of Serpent. And then lastly, we go into a copy of any level 5 TG monster. So our only choice here is a copy of Guardian, which is a non-tuner. And with that, we go into a copy of your Glaive Blaster, since it needs 2 non-synchro monsters. So it's kind of hard to summon this monster if you don't have another non-tuner synchro. So with the 2 level 5s, you gain access to the Blade Blaster, banish the Blade Blaster with the Glaive Blaster, and then get a copy of TG Close from its effect, and spell summon back the Blade Blaster with the use of Glaive Blaster's effect. So a ton of blasters. We're on the Calamity Lock, so just end our turn there. During the draw phase, we will use the effect of the Blade Blaster, banish a copy of Mighty Striker to the banish pile, and then use the effect of Glaive Blaster to spell summon the Mighty Striker to the field. During the standby phase, Blade Blaster will be back on the field. So we have a level 10 and a level 2. Main phase, we'll use the effect of Mighty Striker. It's perfectly fine because we need to summon the Crimson Dragon. And there we go, Crimson Dragon to the field. Like I said, Calamity has its timing, so please be prepared with the timing. So with that, there's no interactions afterwards, and once you summon the Calamity, it's over. So that is the basic combo that you can do with the Calamity Lock. Let's move on to the next replay. Alright guys, so here we are with game number 2, and we have 1 copy of Black Witch, 1 Drillfish, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 All Clear, and a copy of your Seeker. So that's pretty good though. We're going up against tier elements, so our guy is gonna use the effect of Maxi once we use the effect of Seeker. Luckily, our Call by the Grave will help us out. So another problem with this deck, if you get Maxi, then I think you can still play through Maxi if you have the right cards on hand, or the right cards on the field, basically. So Seeker will get us a copy of the Black Witch, spell summon it to the field. Jewel and Lockbird is 1 dangerous card against this deck, so take note of that one. And ashing or imperning the specified card will actually cut off most of your gameplay. So yeah, there we go. So 1 Maxi, 1 Ash Blossom was used, but still we got our cards here. We got Salamander out of it, and spell summon the Drillfish to the field, go for the grab, and we're going towards the same thing. So let's fast forward this one until the Calamity Lock. All right. So here we go. During our opponent's turn, he'll use the effect of Branded High Spirits. We'll use the effect of Ash Blossom here because we're going up against Branded tier elements, so it's kind of rough here. Calamity Lock only affects the cards on the field, not the cards on hand and not the cards in the graveyard. So that's one thing that you should be taking note about this Calamity Lock. So there we go. Summon the same thing. Crimson Dragon to the field. Our guy's gonna get 1 card, a copy of Sharon. Use the effect of Mighty Striker, dumping 1 card. Doesn't matter what you dump. You target the level 12 and you go for the Calamity Lock, and that's basically it. Use the effect, and then we have the lock. So our guy can still use the cards on hand and in the graveyard. As long as it's not on the field, then you are good to go. So we just use or negate the effect of Kashtira tier elements here. So there we go. I wasn't too sure about that because I forgot this replay. There we go. So the graveyard and hand can still use their effects except for the field. So we have one card there. Go for Seeker. So we're playing. If you don't have like a backup on how to win the game on the next turn, then you are done for. But if you do, then that's practically good, or that's basically good. So we got the right cards. You go for Salamander, and since our Salamander is a machine, you can spell summon another monster there, but we got negated, so really sucky, but at least we have board presence that's still known. Our guys will get a copy of Kit Callus. He will dump one card there, but before that, he will use the effect of Perlorino to pop the Glaive Blaster. So there's no protection also for the TG archetype, so that's one downside there. But at least we banished a copy of Kit Callus. I love the Glaive Blaster that can banish any monster from the extra deck, so it's really insane. But with that, he just scooped. Yeah, majority of the time, they don't have any follow-up. So that is game number 2. Let's go for game number 3. Alright, for game number 3, guys, we have one copy of Gear Zombie, one Nibiru, one Call to the Grave, one Triple Tactics Salad, and a copy of Imperm right here. We don't really have a good hand, and this will happen from time to time, of course. Put our Imperm face down there, because we actually brick. Luckily, our guy doesn't have any because he's using ninjas. So there we go. We go for all clear. Here, our guy's gonna try to Ash Blossom. So we go for Salamander to the field. Trust and then Talent, sorry. And then draw 2 cards. We still brick. Another downside for the deck, there's a tendency that you'll brick because there are a ton of Garnets in your deck as well. So that's one downside for the deck. Also, if they interrupt your board, then basically it's hard to have a strong board presence with the cards that you are dealt with. And also, the low-level TG monsters doesn't really help that much because most of your high-attacking monsters are from the extra deck. So, yeah. Also, it is prone to Harpy Spinner Duster, another downside for this deck as well. But we go for a copy there. Tribute that monster, go for the Grub. Now, the effect of the Salamander that has the monster reborn will only affect if you have a TG monster that is a machine on the field, but majority of the TG monsters are non-machines. So our Mighty Striker is going to be flipped face down, which is kind of bad because we need to have this in the graveyard to continue on with the combo, but like I said, it's really hard. Use the effect of All Clear. So All Clear is the only card that is typically like DNA surgery that turns everything into a machine. And then we'll normal summon the Salamander. We're going for a copy of Dragonar, spell summon the monsters, and then we'll be locked into TG monsters only. Regardless, it's fine. At least we can still do the combo for Hyper Librarian. Use the Salamander, spell summon the Serpent once more, so that we can draw one more card from the Synchro Summon. So there we go. Go for the Guardian. Get a copy of the Serpent there. So yeah, not really like the best of board presence here, but yeah, that's the only thing that we can actually do because we're locked into TG monsters only. So the only thing is we can just go for this and then go for another level 10. So the Blade Blaster in the field. The Glaive Blaster was the one that banishes the cards. But yeah, we got a ton of draws from our Synchro Summons. But yeah, there are more problems with the deck rather than, benefits. And then he'll summon a copy of the Maizen to the field. So anything, we shouldn't like use the effects first, or any card effects for that matter, so that Maizen's effect won't trigger. So during our turn, we go instantly for Battle Phase, pop the Maizen, and attack for more damage, and go for main phase 2 and do our combo. So our guy is out of cards and he surrendered. So that was all the replays, boys and girls. So typical problems with the deck is if your over Dragonar gets negated, then you are fucked. One of the cards is going to be negated, like the Blade Blaster or the Glaive Blaster. Then you are basically fucked again. The search for the Screw Serpent is kind of necessary. If you get negated with one of those or along the combo line, you are also fucked. But if ever you summon the Calamity, it would be like an 80% chance that you'll win most of your games. If you can do that, of course. But anyways, that is basically it for today, guys. What are your thoughts on the TG Calamity lock? Is it really worth it? Are you ready to craft all these necessary cards just for the Calamity lock? If so, tell me in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And so long.